This conference will now be recorded.
So in the last session, we have discussed about inserting the records inside the object with the help of web services by using HTTP post method. And we have discussed how can we remove the record from the object with the help of the web services by using HTTP delete method we have discussed. So now as part of these web services, we have two more methods are available, like as patch method and the put method. We'll see first of all what exactly the HTTP put method knowledge. So what is this HTTP put method and what is the use? Now let's see practically. So now by using this method, we can prepare a web service which is used to perform the update operations inside your Salesforce object. Inside your Salesforce object, whatever the records are available, if you want to update your records with the help of this web service, then we can use an annotation called as @HTTP put annotation. Put means update. We are going to be updating the records inside your object through with the help of this HTTP put method. So in this case, what happened? Whenever I'm going to be updating the records, compulsorily we have to pass the record ID. We have to pass the ID of the record which you are going to update, and then which field values you are going to be updating. So we have to specify the new values for those fields. So whenever you are going to be updating the records, we have to specify the record ID. That means which record you are going to update, and then along with that we have to supply the values for the fields. Which field value you would like to update, you can specify the value for that field. Within which value you are going to be updating only. Now, so now in this case, how can we use this HTTP put method? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, let me give the node point and the syntax, and we'll see some practical examples. By using this method, we can prepare a web service. We can prepare a web service which allows us to perform the update operations on the object records. We can able to update the records inside the object with the help of this HTTP put method. So by using this HTTP put method, not only updating one record, we can update multiple records also. By using this feature, we can update either one or more records inside the object. So by using this feature, we can update either one or more records inside the object. Now, upon updating the records, we have to supply the record ID and the new values for the field will be get updated. Upon updating the records, we have to supply the record ID. That means based on that record ID, only we can able to update the record. Why? Because is suppose if I'm using some name of that record to update, then with that same name, if the multiple records are available, then those records will be getting affected. So to make that exact that particular record should be get affected, we need to pass a record ID. Why? Because even though you may be having n number of records also with the same details, but each record will be having a unique identification number that is called as record ID. So that particular exact record will be getting updated. Remaining records will not be affected over there. So for that reason, we are going to be using the help of this record ID. Then, how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. So what will be the syntax to prepare this HTTP put method now? Let's see. In this case, we have to use HTTP put method, and then we can specify the method name as global and the static. You can specify the return type, and then you can specify the method name. If required, you can able to pass the parameters. Whatever the parameters you want, you can able to supply the parameters as well, and then write the business logic to update the records. In order to update the records, whatever the business logic is required, that entire business logic we are writing inside this method. So whenever if you want to update the records inside your object through with the help of that web service, then that web service method has to be defined with an annotation at the rate HTTP put annotation. HTTP put annotation is allows you to update either one or more number of records inside your object. Then how can we update the records? Now let's see practically in this case, and then how to pass the parameters. We'll see practically over here. Now let's see with a practical example right now. Then how can we update that record over here? Now let me give you an example. Take a small use case. Create a web service to update the case record with the specified status and priority for the case record based on the case number. So whatever the case number that is specified, based on that case number, I would like to fetch that case record, and for that case record, I want to update the status value and the priority value. So these values I would like to supply. Which case record you would like to update? I will pass that case record number. Second one, so which priority value you are going to assign? We need to pass that value. Which status value you are going to assign? We need to specify that value as well. So that here we need to collect this information. Based on that information, we are going to be updating the respective record over here. Then how can we do this? Now let's see practically in this case. So I want to update the case records. I want to update the case records over there. Now, then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now I want to indicate that. So what will be the status and the priority you are going to assign? We can able to supply over here. I will pass that priority and I would like to pass that status also at runtime. So based on that, it is going to be updating this information over there. So now let's see in this case, how can we prepare this web service? Let me go to my Salesforce instance. Go to the developer console in order to prepare that case record. In order to prepare that web service to be used to update the case records. I'm creating a web service class. Case manager service. With this one already a class has been defined. Case records manager service. Case records manager service. I'm defining this class with the global access specifier so that it can be accessible by the third-party applications also, and then I'm giving a resource name. So just you can specify this the resource. We can specify the resource name by using this URL mapping. URL mapping equals to / I'm indicating case record manager service. Case record manager service. So I've given a resource name. Any resource name you can provide, no problem, whatever you want. Now, so now here I would like to pick a method. So by using this method, I want to update that record. So that here I'm going to be preparing that method with the help of annotation HTTP. Okay. I'm preparing the method. Global static string. So I'm going to be returning the string parameter, which will be indicating whether the record has been updated successfully or it is failed to update. I'm indicating that method update case record. So I'm passing some parameters. What parameters you are passing here? String case number, C number. This is the parameter name to pass the case number. Here, based on the case number, I would like to update that case record. I don't know the case record ID. I know the case number because case numbers are looking like as 1001, 1002, 1003 like that. But the internal reference Salesforce has given this case number is a auto number field, which has been given by Salesforce by default. And I am passing that priority, C priority. I would like to pass the status, C status. So whatever the case number that are specified, for that case, I would like to assign this particular priority value and this status value I would like to assign. Then how to do that? Now let's see practically in this case. So whenever the user has supplied the case number, based on that case number, we need to fetch that respective case record. Once the case record is available, then we can able to update that information also. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, first of all, I want to verify whether this case number is parameter is having the value or not. So that I'm indicating if C number not equals to null and C number not equals to empty. That means if the case number value is not empty or not null, that means here user has supplied the case number parameter value. Okay, if the user has supplied the case number parameter value. If the case number parameter value is not equals to null and not equals to empty, then I would like to collect that case record over here. So for that one, I'm indicating case C record equals to, I'm fetching that case record. Select ID of the case number parameter, priority, status, origin, reason from case object, where case number equals to whatever the parameters you have passed. I'm passing the parameter C. So whatever the case number that I have received from the user side, so now the web service will be receiving that case number value. Based on that case number, it is collecting that case record. So once the case record is available, it is going to be updating that information over here. Now I'm verifying this. If the case record dot ID not equals to null, that means if the ID is not null, if the ID is there, if the record is available, case record has been returned, case record is there, then I would like to update that here. So what I want to do, case record dot status. I'm assigning that C status. Whatever the value has been supplied by the end user at runtime, that the status value I'm assigning over here. And then C record dot priority equals to C priority. And then I'm going to be updating this information. Update C record. I'm updating the record I want to return. Okay, return, I'm indicating that updated successfully. Updated successfully. Else, I want to return the message. Return error occurred. That means record not found. Case record not found. Case record not found. Invalid case ID. Invalid case number. I'm going to be returning this value. And then, so or else I would like to specify that. Suppose if the user did not supply any case number over here. Okay, if the user did not supply any case number here, in this case here, what I want to do, if this value is not empty, then only I'm updating this one. Else, what we can do? Else, I want to return please provide the case number. Please provide the case number. This is the message here, which I would like to return. So that here, by using this method, I'm going to be updating the record. So if you supply this case number, then based on that case number, whatever the case record is available, that case record status and the priority values I'm updating. Whatever the values you have supplied at runtime, those values I'm going to be updating inside the case record. Suppose if the user did not supply that the case record number, then I want to indicate the message to the end user, boss, please provide that case number. Without the case number, how can we fetch and which record you are going to be updating? How can we decide that? So please provide that case number. For that one, I'm indicating this message. Now, so now let's see practically in this case. Now, so let me execute this web service. Now, so now I'm invoking this web service with the help of this workbench tool. So let's go to the workbench tool. Now, so let me specify that method here. I'm using the method put method. Specify that resource name. This is my resource. Services, Apex REST, and then I'm indicating the service name. So, but in this case, what needs to be done? We need to pass the case number. We have to pass that priority value and the status value. 3 values we have to supply. Then how can we pass in the form of JSON format here through with the help of request body. So inside the request body, we have to embed this case number value and the status value and the priority value. Then only we can able to update that case record over. Then how can we pass in the form of JSON format? You know how to pass the values in the form of JSON. So now let me take one case record here, and then I would like to pass the input parameters. So that here we need to pass. What are those parameter names are available? Parameter names are, as part of my web service, I have given the parameter name as C number, C priority, C status. These are the parameter names. So I'm indicating that C number. Here we can pass the case number over there. C priority. I'm giving the priority as some high. C status. I'm giving the value like as some working. Case number I would like to supply over here. How can we specify the case number? Now let me see. Let me take one case record. Case object ID is starting with the 500. So now this is the case over here. So this is the case. So 1003, this is the case. Easy installation process. So now in this case, now tell me what is the case status right now? It is having the status like as post. Priority like as, okay, look. What is the case number? This is the case number here, which has been generated by Salesforce based on the auto number field. Based on this auto number field, it is going to be generating this value. Now I would like to pass these values. So I'm going to be collecting this case number over here. This is the case number. But this case record already priority is available like as low. I want to give like as high. And then status it is already having closed. Now I want to indicate like as working. Okay. Then how can we do that? Here now let's see practical. I would like to pass these parameter values. So let's go to your web service. Pass these parameters in the form of JSON format. I'm passing the C number like as the case number. Priority I'm passing like as high. Status I'm passing like as working. These are the values which I'm supplying over here. Whenever I'm passing these values are going to storing inside these respective parameters over here. And then once the values are available inside these parameters, it will be placing those parameter values inside my record fields automatically, and then it will be updating the record. Now let's see how can we execute this. Now click on execute. Now it is indicating that updated successfully. So the case record has been successfully processed. It has been updated successfully with the specified priority and the status. Now let me go back and let me verify that.
Rose, I have one question.
So now in this case here it is indicating that previously we are having that status close and then priority low. So let me refresh this user interface. So now it is indicating that status like as working in the priority high. So whatever the case number that has specified, for that case record, we are going to be supplying this status value and then priority value dynamically at runtime over there. This is how we are going to be updating the records by passing the required parameters with the help of this web services. Okay.
Firoz?
Yes.
Just want to check, like when we are updating in Workbench, it's showing the message as vertical line. So can't we show that message in a single line horizontally?
So yeah, basically here it will be displaying like as a vertical. But when you go to the actual JSON response, so let's see, show raw response. It will be indicating like as updated successfully. This is the message it will returns to you whenever you are executing through programming. But in the user interface level, it is showing like this. That's it, nothing else. Okay. Whenever you are executing, you will be getting the message horizontally only here, not vertically. You will be getting the message like this.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
The next, let me place this code. Another name is put. Well, test code. Next, one more example. Let's see one more example on this put annotation. How can we do that now? Let's see. For example, let's take one more small use case. For example, I'm having some account records. Okay, I'm having some account records. So every account record will be having its own values, like as name, rating, industry, annual revenue, active status, like that. So my requirement is so what I want to do is I want to assign the rating value and the annual revenue value. For example, I'm passing the industry name. Okay, if I'm passing the industry name, in that industry name, whatever the account records are available, I want to collect all the account records available in this industry name. And for those industry records, I want to assign the annual revenue value and the rating value, which I'm specifying. Now let's see in this case, how can we do that? My requirement is I'm passing the industry name. Suppose if I'm passing the industry like as banking, then whatever the banking records are available, I want to collect all the banking records. And then for that one, I want to give the rating value and then I want to update that annual revenue value also. Then how can we update that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now let's see. So what is that annual revenue value? What is that industry rating value you want to assign? I will give that, okay, chart over here. Now let's see. Let's take a small use case. Create a web service to assign the rating value and the annual revenue value for the records based on the specified industry as below. Based on the specified industry as below. So I'm giving this industry name. The rating value and the annual revenue. So whenever the user is applying the industry name like as some banking, whenever the user is supplying the industry name as some banking, then I want to assign the heart rating annual revenue value as some 79 lakhs. So now whenever I'm going to passing the industry like as some finance, so I want to give the rating as some warm. All the finance industry account records will be having the rating as warm, and then I want to assign this annual revenue value as some 57 lakhs. And then, so whatever the insurance account records are available, insurance record, for that one I would like to give the rating as some heart. It will be having that some 84 lakhs will be the annual revenue. Now, I want to pass the industry name like as some education. Whenever I'm giving the industry name as education, then at that time rating value should be assigned as some cold. It has to assign the annual revenue value as some 41 lakhs. If I'm giving this industry name like as some consulting, then it has to assign the rating like as some warm, and then it has to give the annual revenue value like as some 50 lakhs. This is my requirement here. Whenever the user is going to passing the industry name, based on the industry name, whatever the account records are available, I want to collect. For all those account records, I would like to pass the rating as hard and the annual revenue as 79 lakhs. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. And how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Depends upon your application requirement, you can do it. Now let's see practically in this case. Now, so let's create a web service. I'm creating a web service. Account records manager service. Account records manager service. Here I'm indicating this class as global because this is the web service which can be accessible by the third-party systems also, so that I'm making this class as global. And then I'm giving this resource name by using @REST resource. @REST resource, I'm indicating URL mapping equals to, I'm indicating accounts update service. Star, I'm indicating this. So now I have created a web service. So where the web service resource name is accounts update service. This is the name which we need to use to invoke this web service. So I'm going to be preparing a method inside this web service class in order to update some records. Now, so that here I'm going to be defining that method with the help of an annotation @HTTP put annotation. I'm defining a global method, global static. I'm going to be indicating that string message, okay, string message as the return type, so that they can able to understand whether the record is successfully updated or not. And then I'm giving this message here, update account records. update account record. So now here I'm indicating this one. If you want to pass this industry name, then you can pass the industry name like as a parameter also, no problem. We can pass that parameter over here. I'm going to indicate string now account industry, SEC industry. I'm going to pass in the parameter name over here. So whatever the parameter name, that means whatever the industry name that was supplied, based on that industry, whatever the account records are available, I want to collect all the account records, and then I would like to update that rating value and the annual revenue value based on the specified conditions here. Based on the specified conditions, I'm going to be updating this. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now you'd like to verify the first condition. First, I would like to verify whether the ACC industry is exist or not. I'm indicating if ACC industry parameter is not equals to null, and then ACC industry not equals to empty. That means if the account records industry value not equals to null and then not equals to empty, then only I would like to collect those records over here. Okay, then I would like to collect those records. Then what we can do now, let's see practically in this case. Now, so now I'm indicating this. I would like to collect that list of account. List of account. LST accounts equals to, I'm collecting those. Select ID of the account record, name of the account record, industry, rating, annual revenue from account where industry equals to ACC industry. So whatever the industry parameter we have supplied. So whatever the industry parameter that have supplied, based on that industry parameter, it is going to be collecting the respective account records, okay, and then it will be storing those records inside my collection. It will be storing those records inside my collection. Now I would like to iterate this each and every record based on the industry name. Okay, based on the industry name, I would like to collect those records. I would like to update it here. Then how can we do that one? Now let's see practically in this case. Now I'm going to be collecting these records for each and every account. If the LST accounts collection is not empty, if the collection is not empty, then I want to update it. Else I want to show that. I want to return the message, return no records, no matching records found. No matching records found. If the records are there, then I would like to do that one. Okay, if the records are available, then I want to update those records over here. Then how can we collect? Collect each and every account record, account ACC from the collection, LST accounts. I'm collecting each and every account record, and then those records information I'm going to be assigning with the new values here. So whatever the industry name that was supplied, based on that industry name, I'm collecting all the matching records. Those records I'm placing inside a collection, and I'm iterating that collection from starting to ending. So collect each and every account record as in the value here. Now, so based on that account record industry here, I need to assign rating value, annual revenue value, because here different conditions are available here. If the industry equals to banking, then I want to pass this rating and then this annual revenue. If the account records rating is equals to finance, then this is the revenue, this is the rating and the annual revenue. So how can we do that here? For that one, I'm indicating. Now I'm using a switch statement. Switch on ACC dot industry. Switch on ACC dot industry. I'm using a switch condition over here. So based on that industry name, I would like to add a switch condition over here, and then I would like to specify inside this. Now, so now let's see in this case here. Based on that each and every account records industry value, I would like to do that. So when the industry value is equals to banking, then I want to assign that ACC dot rating. then I would like to assign the ACC dot rating value over here. ACC dot rating equals to, so for the industry banking, what is the rating value? I want to assign heart. And ACC dot annual revenue. I'm going to be assigning the value 79 lakhs. 79 lakhs. Now, next one. When industry value is equals to finance, then what you want to do? I want to pass ACC dot rate. So what is the value for the finance? WAM and 57. Okay, WAM. $57. When insurance, ACC dot rating. ACC dot annual revenue. So what is the rating for the insurance? Heart and 84 lakhs. Heart and 84 lakhs. When if the industry is equals to education, then ACC dot rating. What is the rating here? Cold and 41 lakhs. 41 lakhs. When I'm indicating consulting, ACC dot rating equals to WAM and 50 lakhs. Annual revenue equals to 50 lakhs. I'm going to be assigning. So now here I'm going to be collecting each and every record, and then based on that record here, based on the record industry, I'm going to verify. If the record industry equals to banking, then collect that record, and then I'm going to be assigning that rating value equals to heart and the annual revenue equals to 79 lakhs. Suppose if the industry value is equals to finance, then I'm going to be assigning the rating WAM and then annual revenue 57 lakhs. If the industry is equals to some insurance, I'm going to be assigning rating equals to heart, annual revenue 84 lakhs. If the industry is equals to some education, I want to assign the rating gold and the annual revenue 41 lakhs. When the rating is equals to industry equals to consulting, I want to assign the rating WAM and then annual revenue 50 lakhs. So once the values have been getting assigned, outside the for loop, I am going to be updating the records. Update LST. Then I want to return that value. Okay, return records updated. Records updated. So it is going to be indicating that the records has been updated successfully inside your object. Suppose if the user did not supply the industry name, then I want to indicate to the customer over here. Else
Firoz, no audio.
So I'm going to be collecting the industry name as the input parameter. Based on that industry, whatever the account records are available, I'm collecting all those account records. And for those records, I'm going to be assigning the rating value and the industry the annual revenue value based on the requirement given by the customer. So that here I'm going to be collecting the industry name parameter first. Once the industry name has been getting collected, based on the industry name, I'm going to be collecting all the records which are associated with that industry. Once the records have been getting collected, I'm verifying if the collection is empty or not. If it is not empty, then I'm going to be iterating each and every record, and then that record industry name I'm collecting over here. So based on that industry, I'm going to be assigning the respective rating value and the annual revenue value based on the industry name. For that one, I'm using this the switch statement over here. Once all the records have been assigned with the respective rating and the annual revenue value, and then outside the for loop, I'm going to be updating these records. So once the records have been getting updated, I'm going to be returning that message to the customer. So records have been updated. Suppose if the collection is empty, there is no records are available, I'm indicating that no matching records has been found. So whatever the industry name that you have supplied, with that industry, we don't have any records are available, so that it will be returning that message, no matching records found. Suppose if the industry, whatever the industry parameter is there, if the industry parameter is empty, that means if the user did not supply any industry name, then I want to indicate the message over there that please provide the industry name. Based on that, we can able to update the records over here. So now let's see how can we invoke this web service by passing this industry name as the input parameter, so that we can update all those industry records with the respective rating and the annual revenue values. Now let's see how can we invoke this service. This is my resource name. Based on this resource name, I'm going to be invoking this web service. This is a put method, and then I'm going to passing that parameter value. So I would like to supply the input parameter. So what is the parameter name, okay, that you are going to supply? I'm going to be indicating that parameter name as ACC industry. Okay, ACC industry. I'm going to be indicating this parameter name equals to ACC industry. So here I'm going to be giving that value. So I'm giving this value like as some bank. I'm indicating like a some bank. So now before that, let me verify whatever the banking records are available. Let me go to that account object. Collect all the account records. Get the banking industry records. So now here I'm going to be indicating this industry. Based on the industry, I'm going to be customizing this one. I would like to filter it out based on the banking. So these are the various banking records are available here. These are the banking records. So which are having the industry rating like as some hard. Okay, which are having industry like as some rating like as hard. It is having some different annual revenue values are available. So these are the banking industry records are available. Totally 7 records are available. For this record, rating is equals to hard. Rating value is available like as hard. Fine, no problem. Then in the annual revenue values are different over here. So now I want to assign the annual revenue value over here. What is the value you want to assign? I am going to be assigning the value like as some 79 lakhs here. For all these are 70 lakhs. How can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. So let's execute this web service. Now click on execute. So let's provide that resource name here. Session has been expired. Apex REST. My resource name, accounts update service. Method is put method. I'm indicating this. I'm indicating the parameter ACC industry. I'm giving the value like as bank. So whatever the parameter that I'm supplying over here. So now based on this industry name, it has to collect all the records. Click on execute. Let's see, it is indicating records updated. Whatever the banking records are available, all the banking records, rating values, and the annual revenue has been updated here. Let's go to that user interface, refresh this user interface now. So now it is indicating that. Go to that banking industry records. So for this all this banking industry records, rating has been assigned as hard. Annual revenue has been setting as 79 lakhs. Previously, it is having some different annual revenue values were there, but now it has updated. Okay, it has updated all the banking records in the annual revenue should be 79 lakhs. Suppose, for example, if I'm having the education related. Now let me verify. E. Education related here. How many records are available? 3 records. These are the 3 records are there. Education related industry records. For this one, rating value is available like us. For 2 records, we're having the rating code, and for 1 record, rating hard. And then, so annual revenue values are also different. Now, what we are doing here, we are assigning that. For the education related here, rating we are assigning like as code, and the annual revenue 41 lakhs. So now here different. Okay, 3 lakhs 45,600, 84 lakhs 74. But now I want to assign like as 41 lakhs. Let's execute this piece of code. I'm indicating education industry over here. Now click on execute. So it has indicated the confirmation records updated successfully. So in this case, refresh this user interface now. Now it is indicating that for this education related account records, rating has been assigned as gold, annual revenue has been assigned as 41 lakhs. Like that, we can able to update the records inside your object. It may be 1 or multiple records also based on your application requirement over there. So this is how we are going to be collecting that information, and then we can able to update the records with the help of HTTP put annotation. So let me place this code. So let me place the endpoint URL. Request body. I'm indicating the request body. And the method name. Method name as. So this is the way we are going to be performing the update operations inside your object record through with the help of web services. Now, the last annotation. @HTTP patch. So what is this HTTP patch method? Now let's see practically in this case. HTTP patch method. So what exactly the HTTP patch method? Now let's see practically in this case. So patch in the sense upsert, okay, upsert operation. As part of DML statements, we have discussed the various DML statements given by Salesforce, like as insert, update, delete, undelete, upsert, and then merge. 6 DML statements we have discussed. So as part of those DML statements we have discussed about, in annotated, we have discussed about one DML statement called as. So as part of that DML statements, we have one DML statement called as upsert. That same upsert statement is nothing but patch annotation for you. So we are having this a patch annotation. And then now let's see how can we perform the upsert operation with the help of this web service methods. Now let's see practically in this case. Now, so what exactly the patch method here? Now let's see. By using this patch method, we can upsert the records inside the object. That means what? We can able to perform both insert operation and update operation inside your object in one shot. Previously, we have used insert operation separately by using post method, update operation separately by using put method. But now, instead of using this 2 requests to the web service class, instead of having 2 invocations, just we can go with the one go. Okay, we can implement with one go itself. In one shot, we can perform both insert operations and update operations with the help of this patch annotation here. So now in this case, how it is doing this operation? So whenever we are going to be performing that upsert operation like a patch annotation, it will update the records which are having the record ID, and it will be inserting the records which are not having the record ID. So that means what? We have to supply the records. Okay, we have to supply the records in the form of request body. So based on that, we can able to upsert those records also over here. We can perform the update operation or insert operation also, both inside this. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case over here. Now let's see the practical part. Now, whenever if you want to define that, we have to follow a syntax. We have to specify @HTTP patch. We can specify the method global method, static. We can specify the return type. We can specify the method name. And then we can specify the parameters if you want. If you want, you can pass the required parameters and then write the business logic. And write the business logic. Okay. Write the business logic. So upon preparing this web service method, we have to specify that annotation @HTTP patch. HTTP patch annotation is used to perform the upsert operation. That means insert plus update both we can do in one shot. So now let's see in this case, how can we use this one with a practical example. Now let's see. Now, so now here in this case, here what we can do. So let's take a small use case. create a web service to update the hiring manager contact number as 9900008877 for all the HR records whose location is equals to the specified city name at runtime, and create a new hiring manager record also. I want to update, I want to insert both. So whatever the hiring manager records are available, I want to collect based on what? Based on the city. Okay. Yeah. So now let's see how can we update these records, and then how can we insert a new hiring manager record also. For example, let me show you the records first. For example, I'm having the hiring manager object, so which is having so many records are available. Almost 940 records are available. Based on the location, I'm going to be collecting the records also. So with the name Hyderabad, how many records are there? I would like to collect. Click on H. We are having almost 926 records are available here, whose location value is equals to Hyderabad. Okay. Here we have 926 hiring manager records are available, whose city values, location values equals to Hyderabad. Now I want to collect all these hiring manager records, and then for these records I want to change the contact number over here. I want to assign the contact number value, and along with that I would like to create a new hiring manager record also. Now let's see. This location value I will pass dynamically at runtime to my web service. I will pass this value at runtime over here. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, so let me create a web service. Hiring manager upsert service. Hiring manager upsert service. I'm making this class as global, and then I'm giving the resource name at the rate REST resource, and I'm indicating that URL mapping equals to / hiring manager upsert service or PAT service /. So I'm preparing this web service. So where I'm going to be indicating the resource name as hiring manager PAT service. prepare the method. HTTP patch annotation. I'm preparing the method. Global static string. I'm going to be indicating this. Absurd hiring manager records. Absurd hiring manager records. I'm passing that city name. HR city name. I'm passing the hiring manager city name. So based on that city name, I would like to collect that city name value at runtime. And then based on that city name, I would like to collect all the hiring managers. I would like to update those values. Now, so let's see how can we implement. First of all, I'm implementing this. I'm verifying this condition. If HR city name parameter is not null, not equals to null, and the HR city name parameter value not equals to empty. If the city name parameter is not null and not empty, then I would like to collect the respective hiring manager records. So list of hiring manager, LST HR records. I'm going to be collecting this information. Select ID of the hiring manager, name, location underscore underscore C. I want to update the contact number so that I'm collecting this contact number from hiring manager, where location underscore underscore C equals to, I'm indicating this HR city. So whatever the parameters we have supplied to the web service at runtime, so now based on that parameter value, I would like to collect those hiring manager records from my object. So I'm collecting all the hiring manager records whose location value is exactly with the city name which has supplied at runtime. Once the records are available. So now here I'm indicating if the collection is not empty, LST HR records is not empty, then I would like to perform the upsert operation here. Else, I want to show the message return no matching records found. No matching records found. I want to do that. Now, if the records are available, then I would like to collect those records over here. So for each and every hiring manager record, HR from LST HR records. I'm going to assign HR dot, okay, HR dot contact number. HR dot contact number value. HR dot contact number, I'm assigning the value. So what is the value you would like to assign? I'm going to be assigning this value. I'm passing this value. So I'm passing this value. And then, so this record I would like to update into my database, but I can't do that update statement inside this file. So that I'm preparing a separate collection. So I'm preparing a separate collection. List of hiring manager. List of hiring manager. HR records to upsert. New list of hiring manager. I'm creating the object of the hiring manager class, and then I'm going to be storing the record inside this. Once the record has been assigned with the new value, then I would like to add this record to the collection. I'm adding this record. Add of HR. So whatever the HR record we have assigned with the latest contact number, I'm going to be adding to the record. So that means here I'm going to indicate. I'm giving some message. That is update. And then I'm going to be inserting. create a new HR record. I'm adding one more new HR record here, like I'm indicating. Hiring manager, HR equals to new hiring manager. Now, so I would like to supply the value for this required fields. I'm passing the values. HR dot name. I'm passing the value some web service test HR. HR dot location. I'm indicating like assumption line. HR dot contact number. I'm passing the value all are names. HR dot email ID web service test @ gmail.com. Once the record is ready, then add the record to the collection. Add the record to the collection. HR records to observe that add of HR. This record also I'm adding to the record here, then perform the update upset operation. Perform the upset operation so that I'm using upset HR records to upset. That's it. This is the functionality which we need to do, and then I would like to return that message. Return records upset. I'm going to indicate this. Now, let's see. So here I'm indicating that string parameter here. If the city name is not null, then I want to indicate that. Else I want to return that. Return. Please provide the city name. I'm returning this. This is how we are going to be upsetting the records. You know this kind of concepts already we have discussed as part of DML statements. So I'm preparing the web service here with the resource name hiring manager patch service. So which will be receiving the city name as an input parameter. So whatever the city name that was applied, for that city name, whatever the hiring manager records are available, for those records, it is going to be assigning the new contact number as this is a value 9900008877. And then along with that, it is going to be creating one more hiring manager record with the name web service test HR. So here it is going to be adding the records here, both records which it is needs to update, it needs to insert both, it is storing inside a single collection, and then this collection of records it is going to be upsetting in one shot by using upset statement. Next. And then we can able to return that message records upsetted successfully, or else I'm indicating no matching records found. Now let's see how can we invoke this web service. I'm invoking this service by using this resource name. I'm giving the resource name. Here I'm indicating this parameter over here. What is the parameter name here? HR city name. HR city name, I'm giving the value like as Hyderabad. So now with the location like as Hyderabad, we are having almost 960 records are available. Okay, 926 records are available, which has to be get updating with the contact number values. Let's see how can we do that here. Invoke this web service right now. Click on execute. Method not allowed.
Patch method. Sir, you need to
Oh,
choose
sorry,
patch method.
select the patch method. Yeah, right. So now I'm selecting the patch method. Click on execute. Now it is indicating records upsetted over here. Okay, records upsetted. Let's go to that. All the 926 records contact number will be getting updated. Just refresh this table. When you verify this one, contact number has been updated for all the records over here. Whatever the Hyderabad related records are available for all the records, contact number has been updated. Along with that, it is creating one more record also. What is that record here? That is creating a new record with the name, okay, web service test HR. Now let's see, starting with the character W. So it has created web service test HR record also with the details whatever we have given. So both update operations and insert operation we can do in one shot with the help of this patch method. So that patch method will allows you to upset the records over here. Okay, patch method will allows you to upset the records where we can able to perform both update operation and insert operation in one shot. This is how we are going to be preparing our own web services which can be consumed by the third-party people. But as of now, the testing process we have done with the help of Workbench tool, and then how can we invoke the same web service, okay, from the Apex programming? That means from a different Salesforce organization. We'll see in the next session. In the next Saturday, we'll be having the continuation of this OAuth authentication. Web service concept is done. How to invoke this web service by using this OAuth authentication. We'll see the OAuth authentication in the next session. So it's the most important as part of real-time implementation. How can we use this OAuth authentication? What is the execution mechanism inside that? What are the various flows are available? From that one, what is that username and the password flow is available? We'll see practically in this case. I will show you that how can we implement that username and the password flow. Along with that, I will show you one more mechanism that is called as future callouts. Okay, future callouts also. How can we implement the callouts? Nothing but web service invocation from your future method. We'll see practically also. These two are very, very important in the real-time implementations as well. We'll see this concept in the next sessions.